What's going on, everybody? Here we are with another training video with some voiceover going on. Um, these seem to be the easiest ways, just simply because the gym's playing music, all that good stuff. So this way I can actually explain what's going on in the videos, things like that. Um, Today, in this video here, you're going to see posterior training day. And this is a new split after teaming up with my coach now, Andrew Ooze. We made some changes to my plan as far as protocol and then training split, even diet changed a little bit. Calories aren't too far off from where they were, just the macro displacement has changed around a bit. So that's been interesting. That's been a huge help, honestly, with food just sticking, things like that. So here we have hamstring curls going down after a little bit of upper back with the seated cable rows, and with that I'm using that, I forgot the exact name of the bar, but it's got the fancy grips on there, but you don't really need straps or anything. It's kind of perfectly designed for your hand to just cup around there essentially. um, and I'm doing that in place of a T-bar row. T-bar row is supposed to be in the plan, but the gym I was at we just don't have one. And to be honest, the standing, using the standing like V bar on a barbell, it's just too close of a grip for me um, to actually hit my lats properly. I'm just kind of awkwardly rowing it. I can do the movement, but it's not hitting where I need it to. It's really hard to actually hit the upper back with the hands that close together for me, just being taller. So you saw I started out with that, and I'm rowing towards the upper back, trying to really bias the traps, rhomboids, rear delts, all that area. And then we went into a ham curl. And man, I'm really liking this split, having just a separate posterior day with a little bit of back in that day. And this is actually my only direct back training that I have in my split right now, which is totally fine. That's actually what I probably need most likely. So we're going to see how this goes for the next, few weeks, months to come, and we'll just continue to check in and assess photos and see if where we're targeting is getting all the stimulus it needs essentially. And I think so far everything's looking good. The leg volume, just the amount that my legs have filled out from the past week of training this way is pretty impressive. And it feels like that ratio, it looks like as well, that ratio of just lower body to upper body is starting to balance out a lot more. Having so much more, lower days essentially, or leg days, I should say. And that's something I've noticed as I've progressed and just gotten more advanced in my training, in my bodybuilding journey, and I'm nowhere near close to where I need to be. So I'm not by any means saying, excuse me, that I'm advanced, but as I've progressed along, um, the push pull legs really helped me build just a crazy solid base. And then from that point, I kind of figured out where my imbalances were. And I ran that push pull legs essentially for the past 2 years or so. And then now I'm starting to see where the imbalances are. Obviously, the hamstrings and the posterior need to really be improved. The quad sweep especially needs to come up just to really accentuate that X frame. But the upper body, like the back and stuff like that, responded really well. Seemed to connect really well with the back, so that's kind of why the back training's toned down so much, because it's just developed way beyond where my posterior is right now, as well as chest, and I'd say arms and shoulders really need to come up too. Really, everywhere except back needs to improve. And if I could get everything to match the back, we'd be in a great place. So I say all that to say this new split that I'm running currently is really tailored specifically to what I need. So I wouldn't necessarily suggest like copying this exact workout if I was newer in my journey. I would probably have a direct back day, a direct hamstring day, and then a direct quad day as well. I'll probably have two back days if I was just getting started. I would literally run the push pull leg split, and that seems to work really well for most people. It's obviously not too tailored towards limbs, like towards arms, especially. I shouldn't say limbs. I should say arms, because they kind of get sprinkled in a push pull leg style split. Just on your push day at the end, you're doing some tries. The end of your pull day, you're doing some biceps. Obviously, you can switch those orders around, and that would help a ton. But yeah, I would just suggest running like a push pull leg split. And then when you come to a point where you're really starting to see the imbalances and what you need, things are falling behind and stuff like that, that's when you could kind of have a tailored split. Like for instance, my first day of the week is quad and biceps together. So that's pretty interesting. And then we have a posterior day is the second day, and then we go into our push day after that. So you'll see the RDLs here getting a little bit of back activation from those as well, but really trying to focus on that super deep stretch. That's why we're doing them with the dumbbells as well. That way, there's nothing stopping us. There's no plates stopping us at the bottom of the movement. There's no um, stoppers on the Smith machine stopping us. We're getting a nice deep stretch. And I'm not focused on using crazy heavy weight on those. I'm just focused on that stretch essentially, and getting really deep, making sure those hips are nice and locked out, or not locked out, but essentially I'm only pivoting from the hips and I'm not letting the knees bend too much or anything. Now we got the glute bridges going down here. This is a super new movement for me. I've done them once in a blue moon at the family YMCA that we have, not the one I'm actually training at in this video, but the other one in our hometown. We've got a really nice hammer strength plate loaded glute bridge machine. Every blue moon when I'm training with my wife, I'll do that. But now this is actually in my split, and I'm excited about it. I'm excited to get strong in it. I'm doing it here with a barbell just from a space perspective. At this gym in particular, we only have one Smith, and somebody seems to always be using it, or there's a line for it. So I didn't want to be taking up the Smith with this movement and all that. And I figured, you know what, this would be easier. Somewhere I can stand. I can always standardize this anywhere. I'm doing it with a barbell. Now we're going into the close grip pull down here. In this movement, something I'm focused on here is just really driving those elbows straight down and out in front of me as much as possible, and not really pulling towards me, like towards, I don't want to get any upper back involved. Obviously it's going to be involved a bit, but I'm really trying to bias just getting as deep of a contraction in my lats as I possibly can. And something I always note to people, the further down your back you can feel it, you can guarantee that it's going to be connected up top as well, where it needs to be anyway, I should say. Like say you're doing a cable row and you're feeling it all the way down in the bottom of your lats, and you know that scapula is opening up all the way on the stretch, and then you're getting that deep contraction and you can essentially feel it in the top of your butt crack there. You know you're probably firing the majority of your back in that movement, and getting all the stimulus that you need and where you need it. Same thing with this movement. The further down my back I know that I'm feeling it, I know I'm feeling it everywhere in the lat that I should, because that's oftentimes the hardest part to hit, is the furthest part down your back. So the lowest point of your lat is the hardest part to always contract, essentially. So if you can always guarantee that you're finding that point in the deep, most shortened range, shortened point of that movement, you can always guarantee that you're finding that deepest point in your lat, you're going to have a nice back, I promise you. And it's not going to matter necessarily how much weight you lift on most of these movements, because the back is such a made up of so many small muscles. And this is something I've noted of myself as well. My back is my best body part. It's also the body part I've never been worried about how much weight I'm lifting. Every other body part, for some reason, my ego's a little bit involved with things, even when I'm mindful of not having it involved. And that's something I have been super mindful of this past, after this last show here, going into this health phase, and then, getting ready to start this off season. My back has been the one thing that if I'm not feeling strong that day and it's not feeling super good, like I feel like I might get hurt or something, just say I'm doing a bent over row or whatever, I'm going to just stick to 2 plates and I'm going to rep it out and get, great contraction the whole time. I'm not going to be worried about slinging the heaviest weight that I can. Same thing with a pull down. If the strength is just not there, And or I'm not. I won't say if the strength's not there. The strength's always there. We can always muster up the strength. But if I'm not getting the contraction or the neurological connection that I need with that heavier weight, I'm going to go a bit lighter. Hopefully that helps some of you guys, some of these tips and things like that, and just the form execution and things like that through this training video. Make sure that you like, share, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, all the good things for YouTube to help me push this in the algorithm. Guys, I'm going to start doing more just like podcast style live vid or not live videos, but just me talking about my plan, stuff like that, versus doing that over the training videos. And then I'm going to do more breakdowns of my training in the training videos. So much love, guys.